Doctors hide this from you. This specific cup of tea is scientifically proven to keep your manhood so rock hard and powerful you'll be ready for round 3 before the sun comes up. Men over 60, listen closely. You've felt that crushing disappointment. You're ready, but your body isn't, and the magic is gone too soon. You think it's just age or maybe bad luck, but the truth is, your circulatory system is just thirsty for one specific ingredient. For decades, the health industry has ignored this ancient, potent natural beverage that actively works while you sleep to supercharge nitric oxide and flood your system with firming power. I've seen this simple ritual give men back the confidence and hardness that lasts for hours. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly which common tea leaf to use, how to prepare it, and the single time of day you must drink it to guarantee you wake up ready for absolutely anything. Let's start with the most powerful tea for male function, and that's ginseng tea, specifically Korean red ginseng. Ginseng has been used in traditional medicine for over 2,000 years, and it's often called the king of herbs for good reason. But what most people don't understand is exactly how ginseng works at a physiological level to support male function. The active compounds in ginseng are called ginsenosides, and there are over 30 different types. These ginsenosides have multiple mechanisms of action that all work together to support firm, lasting function. First, ginsenosides enhance nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide is the master molecule that triggers firmness. When nitric oxide is released in the tissue, it signals the smooth muscle to relax, which allows blood vessels to dilate and fill with blood. Without adequate nitric oxide, you simply cannot achieve firmness regardless of how aroused you are mentally. Research has shown that men who consume Korean red ginseng regularly have significantly elevated nitric oxide levels compared to men who don't. One study found that men with functional difficulties who took ginseng extract for 8 weeks saw improvements in their ability to achieve firmness, the quality of that firmness, and their overall satisfaction with intimate activity. The improvements were dose-dependent, meaning higher doses produced better results up to a certain point. But ginseng does more than just boost nitric oxide. It also affects your hormonal balance. Ginsenosides have been shown to support healthy testosterone levels by influencing the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. This is the hormonal feedback system that controls testosterone production. By supporting this system, ginseng helps maintain the hormonal environment that's necessary for desire and function. Additionally, ginseng improves endothelial function. The endothelium is the inner lining of your blood vessels, and healthy endothelial function is absolutely critical for male performance. As men age, endothelial function declines, which is one of the primary reasons function declines with age. Ginseng helps reverse this decline by protecting endothelial cells from oxidative damage and improving their ability to produce nitric oxide. For maximum effectiveness with ginseng tea, you want to use authentic Korean red ginseng, not the cheaper varieties or white ginseng. Korean red ginseng has been steamed and dried in a specific process that increases the concentration of the most beneficial ginsenosides. You'll want to use about 3 to 6 grams of dried red ginseng root per cup of tea. Steep it in water that's just below boiling, around 190 degrees, for about 10 to 15 minutes. The longer steep time is important because it extracts more of the ginsenosides from the root. Drink 1 to 2 cups of this tea daily. Many men find that drinking it about 2 hours before anticipated activity provides optimal results, but regular daily consumption builds benefits over time. The effects are both acute, meaning you'll notice some improvement within hours of drinking it, and cumulative, meaning the benefits increase the longer you use it consistently. Now let's talk about the second powerful tea option, and that's horny goatweed tea, which despite its amusing name, is one of the most scientifically validated herbs for male function. The botanical name is epimedium, and the active compound is called icariin. Icarian works similarly to pharmaceutical options, but in a much gentler, more natural way. It's a PDE5 inhibitor, which means it blocks the enzyme that breaks down cyclic GMP. Cyclic GMP is the molecule that keeps smooth muscle relaxed and blood vessels dilated in the tissue. When you inhibit the enzyme that breaks it down, cyclic GMP levels stay higher for longer, which means firmness lasts longer. The difference between Icarian and pharmaceutical PDE5 inhibitors is that Icarian is much milder and doesn't produce the same side effects. It works more gradually and gently, supporting your body's natural mechanisms rather than forcing a response. Research has shown that Icarian can improve function without causing the headaches, flushing, or visual disturbances that sometimes occur with stronger pharmaceutical options. Horny goat weed also contains flavonoids that improve circulation throughout your entire body, not just in the pelvic region. Better overall circulation supports better function because you need adequate blood flow to achieve firmness. The flavonoids also provide antioxidant protection, which helps preserve the health of blood vessels and tissue over time. For horny goat weed tea, you want to use a standardized extract that contains at least 10% Icarian, though 20% or higher is better. Use about 1 to 2 grams of the powdered extract per cup of tea. Steep in hot water for about 10 minutes. The taste is fairly mild and slightly sweet, which most men find pleasant. Drink 1 to 2 cups daily, ideally with 1 cup about 90 minutes before activity. The effects typically begin within about 60 to 90 minutes and can last for several hours. With regular daily use over weeks and months, many men find that their baseline function improves to the point where they don't need to time their tea consumption as precisely. Let's discuss the third powerful option, which is ginkgo biloba tea. Ginkgo is one of the oldest living tree species on Earth, and it's been used medicinally for thousands of years. For male function, ginkgo is particularly valuable because it's one of the most powerful circulation enhancers available in the plant kingdom. Ginkgo contains compounds called flavonoids and terpenoids that work together to improve blood flow throughout your entire vascular system. These compounds have several mechanisms of action. First, they increase nitric oxide availability, which promotes vasodilation. Second, they have a mild blood-thinning effect, which helps blood flow more easily through smaller vessels. Third, they protect blood vessel walls from damage and improve endothelial function. The circulation-enhancing effects of ginkgo are particularly beneficial for men over 60 because circulation naturally declines with age. The smaller blood vessels in the pelvic region are especially susceptible to age-related circulation problems. By improving blood flow to these areas, ginkgo directly supports better function. Research on ginkgo and male function has shown impressive results. One study found that men with functional difficulties who took ginkgo extract saw significant improvements, with about 78% reporting better function after 6 months of use. The effects were particularly pronounced in men whose difficulties were related to poor circulation rather than hormonal or psychological factors. Ginkgo also has cognitive benefits, improving memory and mental clarity. This is relevant for male function because arousal and performance have both physical and mental components. When your mind is sharp and focused, when blood flow to your brain is optimal, your entire arousal response works better. The mind-body connection in male function is powerful, and ginkgo supports both sides of that equation. For ginkgo tea, you want to use leaves from a quality source, preferably organic. Use about 1 to 2 grams of dried ginkgo leaves per cup of tea. Steep in hot water for about 8 to 10 minutes. The flavor is slightly bitter, so some men like to add a small amount of honey or combine it with other teas to improve the taste. Drink 1 to 3 cups of ginkgo tea daily. Unlike some of the other teas we're discussing, ginkgo works best when taken consistently over time rather than acutely before activity. The circulation improvements build progressively with regular use. Most men notice initial benefits within 2 to 4 weeks, with continued improvement over 3 to 6 months. Now let's talk about hibiscus tea, which might surprise you as an option for male function, but the research is quite compelling. Hibiscus is rich in anthocyanins and other flavonoids that have powerful effects on vascular health. These compounds improve endothelial function, reduce arterial stiffness, and lower blood pressure when it's elevated. The blood pressure connection is particularly important for male function. High blood pressure damages blood vessels and impairs their ability to dilate properly. This directly affects your ability to achieve and maintain firmness. By supporting healthy blood pressure levels, hibiscus creates a vascular environment that's more conducive to optimal function. Hibiscus also has antioxidant properties that protect blood vessels from oxidative damage. Oxidative stress is one of the primary mechanisms of age-related vascular decline, and antioxidants help counteract this damage. The anthocyanins in hibiscus are particularly effective antioxidants that specifically protect vascular tissue. Research has shown that regular hibiscus consumption can improve multiple markers of vascular health. One study found that drinking hibiscus tea for 6 weeks significantly improved endothelial function and reduced arterial stiffness. These improvements in vascular health directly translate to better male function because the mechanisms are the same. For hibiscus tea, use about 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried hibiscus flowers per cup of water. Steep in boiling water for about 5 to 10 minutes. The tea has a tart, cranberry-like flavor that's quite pleasant. You can drink it hot or cold, and many men enjoy it iced, especially during warmer weather. Drink 2 to 3 cups of hibiscus tea daily for optimal vascular benefits. The effects are primarily cumulative rather than acute, so consistent daily consumption over weeks and months produces the best results. Hibiscus works particularly well when combined with other teas we're discussing, creating a comprehensive approach to vascular support. Let's discuss rooibos tea, which is also known as red bush tea. Rooibos is native to South Africa and has been used traditionally for various health purposes. For male function, rooibos is valuable because it's extremely high in antioxidants, particularly a unique antioxidant called aspalathin that's found almost exclusively in rooibos. Aspalathin has been shown in research to improve blood sugar regulation and reduce inflammation. Both of these effects are relevant for male function. Poor blood sugar control damages blood vessels and nerves, which can significantly impair function. Chronic inflammation also damages vascular tissue and impairs the mechanisms necessary for firmness. By addressing both blood sugar and inflammation, rooibos supports the vascular and metabolic health that underlies optimal function. Rooibos also contains minerals including zinc and magnesium, both of which are important for testosterone production and male function. While you won't get massive doses of these minerals from tea, regular consumption contributes to your overall nutrient intake and supports hormonal health. Another benefit of rooibos is that it's naturally caffeine-free, which makes it an excellent choice for evening consumption. Some of the other teas we've discussed contain caffeine or stimulating compounds that might interfere with sleep if consumed late in the day. Rooibos can be enjoyed anytime without affecting sleep, and good sleep is crucial for testosterone production and overall male health. For rooibos tea, use about 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried rooibos per cup. Steep in boiling water for about 5 to 7 minutes. The flavor is naturally slightly sweet and smooth, which most people find very pleasant. It doesn't require any additions, though some men enjoy it with a small amount of honey. Drink 2 to 3 cups of rooibos tea daily. Like hibiscus, the benefits are cumulative with consistent use over time. Rooibos works particularly well as an evening tea, and having a cup before bed supports nighttime testosterone production while providing antioxidant protection. Now let's talk about green tea, particularly high-quality varieties like Japanese matcha or Chinese longjing. Green tea is one of the most studied beverages in nutritional science, and its benefits for vascular health and male function are well established. The key compounds in green tea are catechins, particularly one called epigallocatechin gallate, or EGCG. These catechins have multiple beneficial effects. First, they improve endothelial function by enhancing nitric oxide production. Second, they reduce oxidative stress and inflammation throughout the vascular system. Third, they support healthy body composition by enhancing metabolism, and maintaining healthy body composition is important for testosterone levels and overall function. Green tea also contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes calm, focused alertness. L-theanine works synergistically with the small amount of caffeine in green tea to provide mental clarity without jitters or anxiety. This mental state is conducive to both desire and performance. Research on green tea and cardiovascular health has consistently shown benefits. Men who regularly consume green tea have better vascular function, lower markers of inflammation, and better overall cardiovascular health compared to men who don't drink green tea. These cardiovascular benefits directly support male function because the vascular mechanisms are identical. For maximum benefits, use high-quality loose-leaf green tea rather than tea bags, as loose-leaf varieties tend to have higher concentrations of beneficial compounds. Use about 1 teaspoon of leaves per cup and steep in water that's around 170 to 180 degrees for about 2 to 3 minutes. Avoid boiling water, as excessive heat can destroy some of the beneficial catechins and create bitterness. Drink 2 to 4 cups of green tea daily, spread throughout the day. The combination of acute effects from the caffeine and L-theanine with the cumulative vascular benefits from regular consumption makes green tea an excellent foundational beverage for male health. Let's discuss nettle root tea, which is different from nettle leaf tea and has specific benefits for male function. Nettle root contains compounds called lignans that have several important effects on male hormonal health. First, nettle root lignans bind to sex hormone binding globulin, which is a protein that binds to testosterone and makes it unavailable for use. When the lignans occupy these binding sites instead, more testosterone remains free and active. Free testosterone is what actually exerts effects in your body. So anything that increases free testosterone relative to total testosterone improves function. Second, nettle root appears to inhibit the enzyme aromatase, which converts testosterone into estrogen. As men age, aromatase activity tends to increase, which means more testosterone is being converted to estrogen. This shift in the testosterone to estrogen ratio contributes to many age-related changes, including reduced function. By inhibiting aromatase, nettle root helps maintain a more favorable hormonal balance. Third, nettle root has anti-inflammatory effects that benefit prostate health. A healthy prostate is important for sexual function, and many men over 60 are dealing with prostate enlargement that can affect both urinary and sexual function. Nettle root supports prostate health while also supporting hormonal balance. For nettle root tea, use about 2 to 3 grams of dried nettle root per cup. The root needs to be decocted rather than just steeped, which means you should simmer it in water for about 15 to 20 minutes to extract the active compounds. The flavor is earthy and slightly bitter, but not unpleasant. Drink 1 to 2 cups of nettle root tea daily. The hormonal balancing effects build over time with consistent use, so think of this as a long-term support strategy rather than an acute intervention. Many men notice improvements in function, energy, and overall vitality within 4 to 6 weeks of regular nettle root tea consumption. Now let's talk about how to combine these teas for maximum synergistic effect. Each tea we've discussed works through slightly different mechanisms, and when you combine multiple teas, you create a comprehensive support system that addresses male function from multiple angles simultaneously. A powerful combination would be starting your day with green tea for the vascular benefits, mental clarity, and metabolic support. Mid-morning, have a cup of ginseng tea for the direct nitric oxide and hormonal support. Afternoon, enjoy ginkgo tea for the circulation enhancement. Evening, have rooibos or hibiscus for continued vascular support without caffeine, and include nettle root tea 3 to 4 times per week for hormonal balance. This rotation ensures you're getting a full spectrum of beneficial compounds while avoiding excessive consumption of any single herb. Variety is beneficial because different compounds work through different pathways, and the synergistic effects of multiple herbs are often greater than the sum of individual effects. You can also create custom blends, mixing different teas together in one cup. A blend of ginseng, ginkgo, and green tea makes a powerful morning drink that supports function through multiple mechanisms. A blend of hibiscus and rooibos makes an excellent evening drink that supports vascular health while promoting relaxation. When creating blends, start with smaller amounts of each herb and adjust based on taste and effects. Some herbs have stronger flavors that can dominate a blend, so you may need to experiment with ratios to find combinations you enjoy drinking regularly. Let's discuss preparation techniques that maximize the extraction of beneficial compounds. Water temperature matters significantly. Delicate leaves like green tea require cooler water to preserve beneficial compounds, while roots like ginseng and nettle need higher temperatures or simmering to extract their compounds. Steeping time also matters. Longer steeps generally extract more compounds, but they also extract more tannins, which can create bitterness. Using filtered water improves the quality and taste of your tea. Minerals and chlorine in unfiltered water can affect both the flavor and the extraction of beneficial compounds. If you're serious about using tea for health benefits, investing in a simple water filter is worthwhile. The vessel you steep in can also matter. Glass or ceramic teapots are ideal because they don't react with or absorb the compounds in the tea. Avoid metal infusers when possible, as some metals can interact with certain compounds and reduce their effectiveness. Now, let's talk about dosing and frequency. More is not always better with herbal teas. There's an optimal range for each herb where you get maximum benefits without adverse effects or diminishing returns. The doses I've provided for each tea are based on traditional use and research, but individual responses can vary. Start with the lower end of the suggested dose range and increase gradually while monitoring effects. Pay attention to how you feel, how your body responds, and any changes in function. If you notice benefits, you've found your effective dose. If you're not noticing effects after 2 to 3 weeks at a given dose, you can increase gradually. Consistency is more important than high doses. Moderate doses taken regularly will produce better results than sporadic high doses. The cumulative effects of daily tea consumption build progressively over weeks and months. Finally, let's discuss realistic timelines and expectations. Some men notice improvements within days of starting these teas, particularly with ginseng and horny goatweed, which have more immediate effects. However, the full benefits typically develop over 4 to 8 weeks of consistent daily use as vascular health improves, hormonal balance optimizes, and the cumulative effects build. The degree of improvement varies based on the underlying causes of functional difficulties. Men whose issues are primarily vascular often see dramatic improvements with these circulation-enhancing teas. Men whose issues are primarily hormonal may see more modest improvements, though still significant. Men whose issues are primarily psychological may need to address those factors in addition to using these teas. Most men will notice some level of improvement with consistent use of these teas, but they're not magic bullets. They work best as part of a comprehensive approach to male health. That said, the improvements can be substantial, and many men find that regular tea consumption allows them to maintain function naturally without relying on pharmaceuticals. Thanks for sticking with me through this comprehensive guide. If you found this valuable, please subscribe to Senior Men's Health for more evidence-based information about maintaining vitality as you age. Until next time, this is Dr. Sophia Carter reminding you that nature provides powerful tools for supporting male function, and with the right knowledge, you can harness those tools effectively.